Hey y'all, and welcome to our South Georgia garden. Mark's out doing some chores, getting ready for this hard freeze we've got coming, so he's not going to be with us. But I'm going to take y'all on a little stroll. We want to look and see what's giving maybe some blooms in the garden and some color in the garden, just to see how well the garden's doing this time in January. It's kind of cold out today, but y'all come along with me. And how can you not but smile when you come around the corner of the porch and see all of this beautiful foliage, various shades, and all that sunshine from those sunshine ligustrum. Gorgeous. This lovely urn filled with snow and summer trailing vine and a miniature rose has always brought me joy, and it is a nice contrast here pushed in amongst these sunshine ligustrum. So even though there aren't any blooms here, there's lots of color that brings me lots of joy. We're expecting a hard freeze over the next few days, so I thought I would go ahead and get out in my garden and show you some of the things that are blooming in January. And as you can see, this snowflake magnolia has already put out quite a few of her blooms. She does still have some blossoms, so I'm not sure if they'll be able to make it through the freeze or not. But at least these little white blossoms sure are glorious. On my stroll, I could barely believe my ears because I thought I heard some bees. And when I looked closely at this marble mahonia, I could see the little bees going in and out, getting their nectar. How cool. Listen. And these window boxes don't really look too bad for January, do they? In fact, I'm really pleased with how the dinosaur kale has put on a lot of growth. And even though the bubblegum petunias aren't bubblegummy, that bright pink right now, they're adding some green to the window boxes. And many times these petunias will overwinter for us. So I'm just leaving them there, keeping them watered, enjoying them. Quite a nice box, I think. Even on an overcast January day, these firepower nandina are popping amongst some of the evergreens out here. We have kaleidoscope abelia there with its variegated color, and more of the firepower nandina giving that pop of color to enjoy. These are newly planted, so I'm looking forward to seeing how they grow and how their color changes as the year progresses. Quite a lovely sight on this January day. And even in January, our Barney garden has lots of color and some beautiful shades of green. Here we see the dark emerald green of the two Porcanii juniper in the background. And this lovely Saybrook juniper is such a nice contrast. It's a lighter green, and then the tips right now are turning sort of a golden color, which is what they do in the cooler weather. And then they are snuggled alongside this banana shrub with its shades of green. Such lovely green inspiration, even in January. So the Barney garden is still very lovely here in January. The window boxes have that dinosaur kale with the greenery left from the bubblegum petunias flanking at the window boxes, flanking both sides of this beautiful little gem magnolia in its urn. And then here in front, this lime glow juniper has changed from that lime glow, and now it's almost a burgundy color. Not quite sure if my camera is showing the true color, but it's burnt orange, brownish, burgundy. I don't really know how to describe that color, but it sure is different, and it catches your eye as you walk by this garden spot. And there in the rock bed, you see that well's tongue agave. It seems to be doing very well also. The barberries have pretty much lost their leaves, but their twigs are very architectural and give some dimension to the garden. And then you can see the firepower nandina giving their fiery glow. The twigs and limbs of the Tonto crepe myrtle standing proud there. And since it's January, we still aren't going to do any trim back on those. We'll wait until they're budding out. And along this edge, we see here the phlomis with its variegated foliage, and it's very soft and fuzzy foliage here amongst the Porcellanii juniper. A nice contrast of colors here. With another lime glow juniper beside it. And this one, the shades of burnt orange are a little different. In fact, it does still look a little more lime glowish. Such a lovely garden, even in January. So even though I really didn't name any blooming plants, there's still lots of color and texture and structure in this Barney garden that makes it very attractive, even in January. Here is the phlomis that we planted first, and it sure is magnificent to see. We got it in just a small quart pot, and 2 seasons later it is about 3 feet wide and about 2 feet tall. And that fuzzy, soft, variegated foliage is a nice complement to these Persanii junipers. And then in the background, you see the little pops of yellow light from the carex there that we've recently planted. So there's not really anything blooming here in our fountain garden in January, but there is lots of shades of greens and yellows. Chartreuse just makes it a peaceful place and a lovely place to sit and enjoy being outside. We've left up the dried blooms on our hydrangeas. And from the ones that you can see up here, we know it's going to be a glorious spring and summer when these leaf out and bloom again. And then behind them, down by the stump and up on the stump, we see those blue herons. Those herons add interest to the garden and just kind of want to make you smile, even on a cloudy day, as you can see in this Georgia sky. Quite cloudy today. Old Rooster Cogburn perched on the stump, and the Sea Rock City birdhouse perched on the fence post brings a little whimsy and fun to any garden, especially here in South Georgia in January. As I was coming around the Barney lean-to, walking towards my potting area, I couldn't believe it when I saw this bird just sitting there. So I tried to walk slowly. I got my camera out, started filming it. It kept sitting there. I wasn't quite sure what kind of bird it was. So afterwards I did ask Mark, and we have agreed that it's a mockingbird. So it's one of those songbirds that we love hearing here in South Georgia. And it was just so delightful to see it in January sitting in my potting area. Wow, to see this verbena blooming today in January, it really feels like a miracle, because this time last year we were not able to be in our house since the hurricane caused a huge oak to fall upon our bedroom just inside this wall. And even though all the construction workers and the big equipment came through here to remove the huge oak from our house, this verbena stood. We didn't know for sure if it was going to make it because it was under all the rubble, but in the spring it did come forth, and it has been here blooming through the spring, through the fall, and now into the winter. Seeing it here today brings me such peace and joy. Well, Mark, hear those chimes, and it's kind of a cold breeze coming in today, isn't it?
It certainly is.
We had to put our bigger coats on. But you spent a lot of time today out doing some chores, getting ready for this big freeze that's coming in.
Yes, I did. And you took a stroll, didn't you?
Right, I took everybody on a stroll. It's kind of near the end of January, and it was time, I thought, to go around and see what's beautiful in our garden still, even in late January.
And you found some things, didn't you?
We did. It was a nice stroll, and I found a few surprises along the way. So I was glad to share those with everybody.
So I'm looking forward to seeing them too.
Yes, and if you're still able to be out doing some things in your garden, please send us a comment. Let us know what you're doing. And if you're like we're going to be probably next week not being able to get out, then maybe you can just sit and relax and watch some garden videos. That's what we're going to be doing.
Yes, we are. And we're taking advantage of maybe it's not warm, but just a little bit of time sitting on the porch and having some sweet tea.
Yeah, we probably won't be able to sit here very long today. In fact, we really didn't need much ice in our glasses today for that sweet tea, did we?
Nope, we're already freezing our tea, aren't we?
We are, so I think we might want to go ahead and say our cheers, and we might need to get in the house pretty quickly today.
We certainly might need to. Well, cheers from our South Georgia garden.
Y'all stay warm.